Imagine if we were to review the education system in Africa, and we're not starting by asking the question of what are the best schools in the world doing. We're starting with the question of what kind of education does Africa need to build Africa and build Africans. The primary objective of education is building identity, and it matters what kind of identity a child is taught even at a young age, because this identity is going to shape how the child thinks, how the child learns, how the child observes the world. So alongside teaching children about the world and everything that happens outside, I think we should also try to teach them about where they are coming from and teach them about who they are. This will help them to have confidence, because remember, I've said that one of the primary and fundamental belief of African intelligence is that Africa lost something very important, and which is confidence, to believe in itself, to build in itself. And so if people do not have an idea of who they are, where they are coming from, and their history, they won't be able to have that confidence to build on anything, because they don't consider it valuable. And so when people do not know their story, they assume that they have no story. Also, when people do not know where they are coming from, they have no idea where they are going to. So identity is very important. The second thing is considering problems before professions. When you meet a child, don't just ask them, what do you want to become in the future? Ask them, what problem do you want to solve? This will give them a bigger scope and a better trajectory in life. So they are not just chasing after jobs. They are chasing after how to provide a solution to a problem in their community, in a sector in Africa, or in a sector in their country. And so that would guide them even in the pursuit of their education. And so they are not just going through school for the vibe of it or because it's a societal mandate. No, they are going through school, they are actively learning because they want to solve a problem that they have seen, alright, and not just because they want to become a doctor. No, they want to become a doctor because they want to solve the issue of malaria. They want to solve the issue of cancer in Africa. Education should not just prepare us for employment. It is responsibility. It's a responsibility. Education is a responsibility. It's expected that everyone that has been educated through the education system in any place you may find yourself is able to provide value. He has a responsibility on himself, able to give back to the society, not just to look for where, they can just get quick money or just get a job that they can settle on. No, that's not how civilizations are built. That's not how Africa will be built. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is thinking. See, there is a way you ought to think if you are building a civilization, if you are building a nation. And that does not come through memorization or cramming of textbooks. That's not learning. That's not education. I don't know what we can call it, but that's not education, and that's not how you can change a nation. If you read through history and read about other civilizations and other great nations in the world, you will notice that one of the primary ways they started this reformation is through education, through active thinking from every level. So they ingrained this habit of learning and global thinking and systematic thinking right from when they are small, not just when maybe they get to a higher institution. No. So I believe that the system can actively prioritize critical thinking, systems thinking, as opposed to just memorization or just passing exams. No, we are not going to school to pass exams. We are going to school so that we can be transformed and so that we can solve problems and create value. Value is the bedrock of every civilization, and value is built on knowledge of identity, knowledge of problems, and pursuit of solution. That is what value is, and that is how civilizations, great nations are built. I talk about more of these frameworks towards redefining or rewriting African education in my book, African Intelligence. So get a copy today so that you can explore more points and more areas we can target to redefine education in Africa. Thank you.